I can't compare, but I can say that when you have a situation or a platform like we may have to come and talk about these things and let other kids or young adults know that they're not alone, because that's the biggest thing, no one talks about it. I struggled for ages being able to be confident enough to talk about it. 5, 6 years ago, there's no way I would have been able to, you know, and with time and with age and with understanding, the more you talk, the better it helps yourself and helps others. That's why you come and do these things.
But you say, Calum, that, you know, you're trying to get kids to talk out. When it's your dad or your mum or your brother or whoever, do you even realise, I mean, when did you realise your dad was an alcoholic and that he wasn't like other dads?
Yeah, well...
he never was like other dads, but,
no,
you
but
know,
I know exactly what you mean. It's... At a young age, you start seeing these things. You know, you know, 8 years old, I started to see there was character traits that wouldn't quite be normal, you know, but you don't really realize till you look back in hindsight about what's going on, you know.
Exactly.
For me, personally, it's, you know, trips down to the pub from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. You think, at the time, that's cool, I'm spending time with my dad, but realistically, you're going, that's not the healthiest thing to be going through. But I think there's certain ages from all sorts of people to find out about it, but the problem is when you're that young, you don't realize that there are actually places to go and places to talk about it, and that other people are going through the same thing. Because if you keep that stuff kind of locked in and keep it in yourself, I'm still dealing with demons that I had about not talking about it, you know, and it's a tricky one, but the more people need to know, because it's such a big thing in the UK and all over the world, that there are charities to talk about it, there are other people going through it, and you're exactly not alone.
And your book, your brilliant, very candid book, actually, Second Best. You were second best to alcohol, weren't you?
Yeah, you know, it's, for me, it's, again, I found it so hard to talk about because my specific situation was because my dad was so iconic that you couldn't, I always had to, not live a lie because I'm very proud being my dad's son, but I always had to agree with everybody said about what a legend he is, which he very much is so. But he wasn't just a legend, he was my dad, and my dad had a drinking problem, and it affected our relationship. When I didn't really talk about it openly till I was, what, 25, 26 years old? Yeah. My book only came out last year, but me doing my book has helped me so much because social media, the amount of people that get in touch with me via my Twitter, via email, via Instagram to say, oh my goodness, we didn't realize somebody else was going through this as well, thank you. It's like if 1 or 2 people do that, I feel like I've done the right thing by doing my book. Even if I might have got grief because my dad was some icon, it's something I felt like to move on with my life I had to do, and if I have this platform, let other people know they're not alone. And
do you think now that has happened, you are able to move on with your life, you've got it out there, clearly it will always live with you. But you seem to have moved on to a different stage.
Well, thank you. And what it is for me is that I can come here and do this and talk about these things, but I'm still dealing with my demons. You know, my life is good. I'm very blessed. I choose health. I choose things, but I still have demons in me from what I've gone through before. So I'm no saint, that's for sure. But if I can come on and talk about something that's close to my heart, that I went through myself, that might possibly help others, why would I not do it? I feel like it's a duty to do it. But I still go through the demons. You know, they'll never be gone. They'll be with me for the rest of my life. But as long as I know, if you talk about it, which isn't easy, but if you talk about it, it can help you and it can help others.
And there are places, I mean, I guess you go online, you go, there is help. That's what you're very keen to put across, isn't it?
For sure. Even the charity like NACOA, I met them 7 years ago when I made a documentary, and from then on out, I get connected with people like Liam. I get connected with opportunities to come on a show like this and talk about this and help that charity, because the charity is so important because they're anonymous for people to call in from any age and talk about their problems. Because a lot of people are quite ashamed or quite shy or quite embarrassed when really, like I said, you're not alone and you have to talk about these things because that's the only way you're going to heal yourself as such.
You know, this is a really good time to be talking about it as well, because it's half term and there might well be young people at home now who know that their parents aren't behaving perhaps in the way they should be. And, you know, if you want to talk out after seeing Calum talk about his problems, then now's the time to do it, really, isn't it?
And thank you for giving me this platform to do so.
No, so it's an absolute... You look gorgeous, by the way.
So do you.
I'm sure you've noticed at home.
No, don't. You make me blush. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And so do you. And you're doing a great job.
Well,
I appreciate you and Lorraine having me on, because every time I come on, I get an opportunity to spread this stuff. And it always seems like a bit of a downer, but in order for me to, in a selfish way, in order for me to explain where I'm going with my future, I have to explain my past. And if I have to explain it to other people to relate to what we're going through, then so be it.
You know what, I met your dad and he'd have been very, very proud of you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Lovely to see you.
Thank you.